Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of ILLflips. I'm Jordan Brown from ILLstrips. This week I'm just taking a look at a mix of Japanese magazines, everything from horror, sci-fi, mixed media, conceptual art, photography, and some toys. To start with, I have a couple issues of Bickery magazine, which ran from 1974 to 1985. Great covers on all these, pretty wide range of art. Mostly articles, photography, but some interesting old Japanese advertisements. Just a real feast for the eyeballs. I think if I was doing like a project about Japanese culture from around this time, these would be a great go-to and a good thing to have in your back pocket. Probably a lot of crossover from Garo magazine with some of the cartoonists when they do appear. But there's quite a lot, you know, they're, I don't know, nearly maybe 200 pages, 150 pages. And just a real mix of everything from around that time in Japan. And some comics at the back here. Yeah, about 150 pages. These issues are from 1978 and I think 1982. Just a bit of a mix. This is a great cover. I think this is maybe my favorite, followed probably by this here. I actually found these two in a flea market in Kyoto when I was over there in the summer, but I ordered a couple more. Just wanted to see what else was going on, because there is just a real range of imagery, some photography, even some fumetti, some fun cartooning. And just a nice little package all around. I'd say they would be fun to read through if you get out your old Google class. Google Translate, I should say. There's a lot of information in these pages. And just a lot of ideas really throughout. That seems to be my takeaway from it, is just something that if I looked through this and was lacking a little inspiration, I think I would leave quite inspired after putting these down. Just the format, different layouts. I always love these old advertisements. Very 80s. This is an interesting color treatment for a comic within Japanese pages. It's kind of blue and yellow and green, which continues over here. And you do get some of the more Garo style comics. Doesn't seem to be much more than that. And then some thicker kind of cardstock pages within. I guess these are maybe cutaways. Yeah. That's fun. Just an interesting snapshot of a different time. Another great cover. Yeah, you never know what's going to be on the next page. There's a lot going on. So yeah, I'm kind of happy to pick any of these up. Just as I said, a good one just to have on the shelf if you're feeling that you need a little bit of inspiration throughout the day. No coffee ad. Yeah, I'm really in it for the covers also. Here's a King Terry cover. 1983. I think this is probably from later. But no, it's probably about right. Oh yeah, I got this one. It was in Kyoto also. This is the manga museum. Yeah, it could be a fun one to have a read through. Because I'm only in it for the visuals. Can't read Japanese. A bit of Keith Haring. So there's your Bikkuri House, 5 issues of that. You can see they're pretty dense, all about the same size, saddle stitched. Next up is an issue of Play Comic with the Shotaro Ishinomori cover. And this is again a Gekiga issue, so it's just going to be mostly manga, and then there's some car advertisements. Shotaro Ishinomori, I think, did the covers for these for a long time, and there's even a collection of those covers, I believe, called Girls. Well, I'm sure a lot of those covers feature in that book. Got some comics to start. I think this is Setsuo Tanabe. Some kind of war comic. This is also pretty dense. Get good bang for your buck in Japan with these kind of magazines. This is nice. Got some ninjas. Mikishiro. Some interesting adverts. Then some actual manga by Shotaro Shinomori also. Got that great mix of cartoon and kind of Gekiga feel. This game reoccurs a lot in manga of this time, these kind of Gekiga magazines. I think it's maybe a Chinese game, Pai Gao, some sort of gambling domino game. But you can literally, I remember looking through some stuff in Mandarake, and this whole stories about this game. Usually seedy underworld kind of stuff. It's definitely gambling. Probably started in Macau or something. But it pops up a lot in these magazines. Yamada, I think is the name of this artist, Katsuo Yamada. Sato, always doing some pretty wild and fucked up comics. Check out Star of David. Some good cars. All this gangster stuff. And then a bit of Neji Matsumoto. It's the same kind of Gekiga crew that appears in a lot of these magazines. I've got some other magazines from around this time that feature a pretty similar group of artists. All kind of part of the same crew, era, association. Some of the more simple stuff also. I think it's Shintaro Taka. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with these play comics. Great covers. Nice bit of manga inside. And then there's a sci-fi, kind of just a sci-fi monster magazine. Starboy #1. Gonna have all your usuals, Gamera, Godzilla, Toho stuff. Some Japanese superheroes. Again, just kind of a visual treat, these magazines. Some interviews with directors. Ishiro Honda. They really know how to make every page interesting in a magazine like this. Then just some classic monster stuff. King Kong, Frankenstein, Camera. More kaiju stuff. Superman. I like the look of these Japanese superheroes. Again, these magazines are good because you just you know, kind of puts you on the hunt to find out more about some of the characters you might not be so familiar with. It's a good spread. Furuoka. This looks interesting. Kind of reminds me of the Jaime Hernandez most recent Love and Rockets cover. This weird tree. Yeah, here's some more of these Japanese superheroes. They look great. Couple more interviews. This Demon King. And then Daimajin. Never seen this movie. 1966, I think. Just about a giant stone statue god. Need to check it out. There he is again in the back. Daimajin. Good stuff. This is a toy magazine. Warp. Volume 5. I think it's put out by Trans World. And it actually reads like an English magazine rather than back to front. On the back you're getting advertisements for some Batman figures. But it's kind of fun. It's just got a big range of, maybe I'll start from the front since it works this way. Star Wars toys, Alien. Got some Tank Girl. A lot of Batman in this issue. With Bruce Timm stuff. Just a toy catalog, I suppose, if you're a collector of such things. Excuse the glossier paper on this. A bit of sheen. X-Men. Spider-Man. Kind of quite familiar stuff from the 90s kids' childhood. All the Star Wars stuff, Power of the Force. Seems to be maybe some comics in the back too. Not really. Hot Wheels. Kind of an interesting magazine. Seems to have a good mix of American and Japanese toy interests. Just gonna pop that light off because these are quite shiny also. These are the horror movies and I have 3 of these. This is number 2. And these literally just go through horror movies from, you know, page to page. Is, you know, I don't know if they're in any sort of chronological order, but each page pretty much features a little article about a particular horror film, which is pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited to read these if Google will translate them well enough. So this is all the Georgia Romero stuff at the start. Creepshow. Some Friday the 13th. But it's just a nice package and delivery of just, if you do want to have a well-rounded look through some pretty more obscure horror films too. Some Fulci. It'd be a nice magazine to read in English. Almost reminds me of a documentary I watched a couple of years ago. Just going through all these different horror films from the 80s and 90s, 70s. Can't remember the name of it now. Life Force. Piranha. Cat People. Cujo. Yeah, I mean, these are great. Every page is just jam-packed, full of, you know, fucked up debauchery. Got a lot of the Italian stuff also, and some French films, which is pretty cool to see. If you're a horror fan, this is definitely for you. Sentinel. Changeling. I guess there's kind of a theme maybe for within some of the pages, just for the kind of particular films that there is. Maybe cars, like Christine the car. Some more supernatural stuff. Sharks, obviously Jaws. I'm trying to remember the name of that documentary. Wasn't All the Colors of the Dark. It'll probably come to me as soon as I wrap this video up. It's on YouTube though, pretty long documentary just about all these kind of films. Some Cronenberg. Alien. The Fury. Yeah, I might even read some of this after I wrap this up. The Thing. Body Snatchers. Actually watched a lot of these films just recently over the month of October. Some really obscure stuff also that I don't recognize. Again, as I said before, they're just a good way to open up some things you might not have been aware of. Send you down a few new rabbit holes. More of the old sci-fi stuff. And some good posters at the start and the beginning. Part 4. The poster at the start, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Freddy stuff. The Labyrinth. Good mix of horror films. Not much rhyme or reason to how they're organized. Maybe I'm missing out on that, but certainly interesting. think the Japan Book Hunter had a couple copies of these, if you're looking. It's just like some Ray Harryhausen stuff. This seems to shed a little bit of light on practical effects and special effects makers from the time. That's cool. Jim Henson. Yeah, I really like these. And then there's just one more. I think this is number 5. Texas Chainsaw. Great photo stills. Trouble in Little China. Yeah, I guess you kind of get the idea. Anyway, it's just a big mix of horror, and then look, this actually has a nice little slice of just posters, which is pretty cool. This one's nice and crinkly, as you can hear. A lot of fucking body horror shit going on. Wild. Yeah, I would like to sit down with these and have a proper read through them. It seems like pretty interesting stuff throughout. Pretty jam-packed. So, that concludes some Japanese horror magazines. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.